Normally, I'd add a sin for a game needing you to press the start button to go to a menu to actually start the game, but considering the start prompt makes the player cause the ray sphere to explode, I'm gonna remove a sin. Don't get too happy about it though. Who's behind the camera? What were they recording? A documentary on city skylines? And how's the camera still working after the EMP? Who's in this helicopter recording this? Is this a news chopper? Why isn't their camera disabled from the EMP? Ominous red sky is ominous. Of course, in this universe, the sky being red means the beast is near, and this is way too early for that.
Come on, Cole. Move.
Main character has to speak to himself in third person so that we know his name, even though the mysterious voice already addressed him as such. Timely explosions only go off as the player passes by them. After the explosion that levels several city blocks and reduces everything in its epicenter to molten wreckage, there's still a clearly defined path for Cole to follow. I'll forgive Cole being able to walk fast with a limp due to him being a conduit, but I won't forgive him being able to jump 5 feet in the air and have perfect balance while climbing on stuff.
Cole! Cole, man, you there? Come on, man, pick up!
Cole's phone still works even after the explosion and the EMP.
If you're able to walk, please evacuate across the bridge to the Neon. Remain calm. Emergency personnel are en route.
These emergency first responders are basically telling people to save themselves. These cops don't immediately freak out and run seeing electricity come out of a man's body and lightning falling from the sky. This cop gets struck by lightning and then acts like nothing happened.
Oh no! It's the terrorists! Run for the bridge, Cole!
Zeke blames terrorists for the lightning storm when he can clearly see Cole's body emanating the same blue electricity. Also, what terrorist organization does he think can summon a lightning storm?
While sliding into unconsciousness, I could somehow, I don't know, hear the voices of the dying.
Narration. Jason Cotto's voice sounds totally different in this narration than it does for the rest of the game. It's like this was his demo reel for the audition, they just decided it could go straight into the game.
But with time, I'm learning to control it, master it.
Cole learns the basics of how to use his powers off screen so that we have to turn to the post-blast comic to see what happened in the 2 weeks prior.
Nice job, man! Boob tubes are working.
This is what Cole considers good use of his powers. Zeke puts an entire comic in his back pocket.
You take the stairs. I'm using the express elevator. That's what I'm talking about.
How did Cole know he would survive jumping off a building without ever having done it before?
Whew! Well, that was one hell of a jump, man. Wish I could do something like that. Running down all those stairs. That sucks donkey balls.
Out of shape Zeke ran down all the stairs just as fast as it took Cole to jump off the roof.
The second you touch it, the electricity in your hands cooks off the gunpowder, and the whole thing goes kabam!
Zeke tells this story back to Cole as if he didn't experience it firsthand.
Hey, remember that time we were coming home from Duffy's, and I had to take a leak? And that bike cop was yelling at me to put up my hands?
You pissed all over him.
The trip to fetch the new gun is so long that the only thing they can pass the time with is exposition, so we can begin to understand why we'll come to dislike Zeke by the end of the game.
Ah, come on! He told me he was gonna leave it under a car. I figured there'd be only one. We'll never find it.
Apparently, bending down is Zeke's mortal weakness.
Now I'm jumping off of buildings, frying the junk on Zeke's roof.
You jumped off a building. What were you thinking?
Trish would be excellent at cinema sins.
Those idiots dropped us canned prunes. Now who the hell wanna eat this crap?
Zeke doesn't know the first thing about starving.
The footage you're seeing was taken by a security camera near
Hey,
Ground
Cole!
Zero.
You're up on the big screen!
How did Dallas get a video recording of the moment before the ray sphere went off? Everything in the immediate area was destroyed, including the surveillance camera.
Ever been called a terrorist?
In modern day post 9/11, it's a pretty common slur. Not to mention Zeke already called you a terrorist, so you're 2 for 2.
Whatever there'd been between Trish and me was gone. She didn't say a word. No emotion, nothing, just walked away.
Given how faithful Trish is, I'm surprised she believes some signal-jacking moron throwing around slander before talking to Cole about it.
I'll meet you there. And Zeke, thanks for watching my back.
Sure, man. I ain't about to do anything that might piss you off.
The first person to sow the seeds that conduits are to be feared is Zeke. Go figure.
We're getting out of here, one way or another. Follow my lead.
So the plan is just for the two of them to get out of Empire City and leave Trish behind to die alone in the gang-infested, plague-struck quarantine. Yeah, that's not how you make up with your girlfriend. Oh no, they have batons! What sort of defense do I, a person with superpowers, have against that? Apparently, Zeke felt that it would be unfair to bring a gun to a baton fight, so he's going around punching them instead.
Zeke made a break for it, smashed in the gate to the decontamination unit, and fell headlong into the harbor.
So Zeke didn't get shot once?
I was greeted by name. This FBI agent, Moya, had seen the footage of me at Ground Zero and came here to wait, figuring I'd try to escape, knowing I'd have power.
Moya miraculously knew Cole would try to escape the city, bail into the decontamination unit, and came here to wait for him. I'm not sure if she's the Mary Sue or if her contacts are.
Cole? Oh, man, it's good to see you.
Yeah, no, Zeke should be dead.
Hell, live through the fall, no problem. But, getting back to shore? Well, let's just say I'm no Michael Phelps.
I don't know. After everything else we know about Zeke, I'm convinced he's smoking weed too.
Found it. Looks like a portable audio drive is attached to this satellite dish.
See if you can listen to it with your phone.
Cole's phone is pretty much a Nokia with a walkie-talkie function, but also has a USB port with mobile data capabilities.
I'm uploading a decrypting algorithm into your phone. It should let you listen to the messages.
Oh good! It runs apps too.
He must have used death drops to communicate with his handlers.
English?
That wasn't technobabble, and she was pretty clear. Just because you're used to Sly not understanding every other sentence Bentley says doesn't mean Cole is unable to understand intermediate English, sucker punch. Where's this light coming from? What was Cole going to do, flip her over and see if he recognized her? Was that the best excuse they had to get him to figure out he had cadaver vision?
No! Leave my husband alone!
Also, convenient memory prior to death is convenient.
The Reapers kidnapped Brandon. This is his wife, Lene.
How'd he figure out her name? She didn't say it.
Damn!
This is our first introduction to a conduit besides Cole, and he isn't as surprised or relieved as he should be. The game also notifies you when you kill a conduit, a term that the player is not familiar with.
Come on, man, don't be stupid. They'll ride you as long as they can, but the second you're no longer useful, bam! You vanish. Permanently.
I think all that conspiracy stuff has rotted your brain.
Is Cole really in any position to write off Zeke's conspiracies? He has superpowers for God's sake.
Alright, I tracked the Echo to the sewers.
And so begins the bane of my existence playing this game. Here we have the first sewer mission in the game, which gets very repetitive and boring. And if you don't think I'm not going to send every single one of them, you're wrong. This must be how Cole figures out he gets a new power. Ultra convenient visions! Despite being a walking lamp, I can barely see shit. How long do these restraints last? A few minutes? An hour? A week? Do they short out in water? What if someone tries to get them out? Do they get zapped? Superpower equivalent of a defibrillator heals all wounds.
She thinks I killed her sister.
Man, that ain't your fault. The package was a bomb. Hell, you're lucky to be alive. She needs to see things for what they are.
This is why you can't reason with women. And I can say that because I am one.
Lene is dead. They shot her.
How do you know her name?
That's what I said.
I know this is hard. I saw her body. There was nothing anyone could do.
Cole trying to console Brandon just reminds me of how much he sounds like Christian Bale's Batman.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted them. I'm so sorry, Lene.
Didn't he see them shoot her? That's pretty much what the vision showed us.
Those guys will slaughter me. I can barely see, and charging up that tower drained me dry.
Considering that bolts don't cost any energy in this game, he shouldn't be drained. Another sewer mission immediately after the last one.
And when I get there, someone calls and tells me to open the package. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in a crater.
If Kessler was going to remote detonate the ray sphere, why'd he have Cole take it out of the package?
By isolating the city's water system, they can pump their plague into every home in the city.
In this game, the plot makes it sound like the Reapers were manufacturing the plague, which in truth they have been creating their own plague. But my problem is that it overshadows the real plague caused by the ray sphere. They should have called the Reaper's sludge sickness something else and made it less confusing.
You know those areas of the city you've been clearing out? They're crime-free now. People are hanging up posters with your face on them.
2 seconds ago, everyone hated Cole, and now they love him. This game has pacing issues.
Not looking good, Moya. Sick people all over the place. And the water in the fountain is black.
Why is anyone stupid enough to drink black water?
What are you doing here?
Moya wanted me to see what's going on with the fountain.
Who's Moya?
Believe me, Trish, there is no contest between you and Moya.
Oh, it's all over your eyes. I need to get a solvent out of my car. Follow me.
That's not a car, that's an ambulance. You're telling me that Trish has her own personal ambulance as a nurse? That's like saying the 911 dispatch operators get to drive around in police cruisers arresting people.
Hold still.
Thanks.
That's the only time I'm helping you, Cole. If you get that stuff on you again, you're just gonna have to wait for it to wear off.
Don't you have an extra can of that stuff I can use? If all these valves have been tampered with, why is Cole not smart enough to stand to the side and avoid getting sprayed in the face?
Only I love you. I'll always love you, Cole. Always and forever.
Stalking and mental rape.
Listen, I say we crack that baby open and give everyone powers.
If there was ever a reason why the military would bomb the city, that would be it. So Cole sleeps on the couch on the roof at night while Zeke sleeps inside. What if it started raining in the middle of the night? Sewer mission number 3, and I still hate them.
Probably holding up at the old TV station over in the historic district. You find him. You give him a taste of the good stuff. He's got to learn not to run his mouth all the time.
Given how Dallas actually gets killed, this might as well be foreshadowing.
See that old train? The Reapers have some people locked up in it. Collateral to keep the people of the Neon in line. More importantly, there's a chance John is locked in there.
What evidence does she have that John could be a hostage on the train other than the fact that there are a bunch of people on it? What happened to her stew resources? Do I really have to move this train all the way to the destination? Why can't I just take it to the nearest station and open the doors?
I scanned the crowd for John as people started to leave the station. He was nowhere to be seen.
Cole's pretty confident that he'd be able to recognize John after seeing his face in a photo once the day before.
This is like the fountain all over again. Why aren't you stopping this?
Trish blames Cole for not solving the problem instead of blaming the people who are actually causing the problem. Sounds like a good representation of our society.
Oh, it's filling my throat.
Then cover your goddamn mouth. Hey, when can I do that? Oh, that's right. Never.
He leaped toward me, his icy fingers digging into my head.
He was halfway across the roof. How slow are you? I'm only going to send this because this is how terrifying Infamous 2 could have been. Wait, icebergs? Blizzards? I'm pretty sure the Beast couldn't do that. The only one we know that could do that is... Holy shit.
As he released me, I knew that he was responsible for all of it.
In one way, yeah. In another way, you're dead wrong.
Now one of my boys thinks she's working with DARPA.
You have boys?
I suppose by boys, he means some serious Google foo.
Now, if that thing dishes out superpowers, what's to stop old Uncle Sam from juicing up the entire military or the cops? We'd have no defense against that.
Didn't know we needed any.
Oh my god, how naive can Cole be? 4th sewer mission and 4th sin.
You know how you use that blast move to throw a guy into the air and then shoot him while he's floating around? We need to name those kinds of moves, man.
Now's not really the time.
I'm thinking we call it the Crippler.
I swear, Zeke's character planning never got out of the he has to be annoying stage.
You think I don't see her? The way you're parading her around like a common Jezebel? I see everything now, Kessler. All of it.
Can't tell if foreshadowing or manic blathering.
Darling, what took you? Was it traffic? I told you not to take a bridge. It's always backed up at night. Get dressed. We have dinner plans tonight. Of course I told you.
Does Sucker Punch have a problem with women? Because I can't find a single one I can't complain about in this game. Quick time events.
Kessler, why do you love her? I'll kill her. I swear it. I'll wear her skin like a robe.
If she knows the difference between Cole and Kessler, why does she act like they're the exact same person? Does she think Kessler is in love with Trish, or does she think there aren't two of them? I'm just gonna go with she's crazy.
Sasha was a piece of shit before the blast.
Who was she before the blast? We don't know. And that makes 5.
I suspect that they're led by an extremely powerful conduit.
Moya mentions the word conduit being the first time it's ever spoken in the series, but the term isn't ever clearly defined for us in the game.
Dwight, didn't that guy steal your car and strip it down for parts?
Yeah, he was a real tool. But, you know, I've dug his sister for a real long time now, and, you'd be doing me a real solid with this one.
And you think if I find Dwight, she'll reward you?
Cole goes through with this.
What are those posters supposed to be for?
Just trying something out, you know? Spreading word about you, what you're doing. Which one do you like?
If I had never found this guy, would he have just hung up both posters, or whichever one he liked? Then I could have a redundant karma opportunity to tear down the ones that went against my moral code.
Zeke is never gonna believe this one.
What, someone hanging up posters in your image? I'm pretty sure he's the one that came up with it.
Any luck?
This bullshit.
Trish, I think I found Roger. He must have done something to piss these guys off because they're all over him.
Why are the Dustmen guarding Roger in the middle of a street? Wouldn't they have a more secure place to put the electricians they kidnapped, like their hideout?
Memorial Park near the bridge, but unless you're carrying a gun, I'm not going anywhere. Reapers are swarming all over this place.
If the Reapers are holding Lou hostage, did they really let him keep his phone so he could communicate that he's in trouble?
This superhero racket is great, man. Solving crimes, getting some loving from the ladies. I'd get used to living like this.
You're not actually a superhero, Zeke.
Now Zeke's a freeloader. Jesus, looking back at it now, I'm surprised I ended up liking him in Infamous 2.
Oh crap, I gotta go. Dwight's sister is hot and ready to go, if you know what I mean.
Bow chicka wah wah.
Well, anyway, she comes over and says she can only stay a minute or two and starts talking about, I don't know how she really digs me, but she sees me as a friend. I'll always be your friend, Zeke. She actually said that to me.
That's what you get for trying to make the moves on a girl you just told her brother was dead. Let her grieve for a little while. That makes 6 sewer missions, and we're still not done.
So I was walking over to help Trish load up her bus, and I see Dwight's sister hanging on some guy's arm. She didn't even look at me.
You'd think if Zeke's been scoping out this girl, he'd already know if she was taken.
Tell your friend Zeke to stop calling me. If he wants to play hero and track down leads, that's his business. But I don't need to hear about it.
Hey, I hate Moya as much as the next person, but I'm not stupid enough to call her to try and interrogate her.
If I can't maintain control of this situation, I will be replaced. They'll bomb the island and you'll be a fugitive. No deal, no nothing.
The military pulls crap like this and Cole still thinks Zeke's conspiracies are unfounded.
What if I don't? They gonna start dropping bombs?
The president signed off on the order a week ago. If the plague reaches critical threat level, he'll make the call. No questions asked.
And they'll glass the whole city. Just like that.
If Moya told Cole all this, what was to stop him from telling anybody what kind of corruption she's admitting to him? Not to mention, given the amount of global chaos the destruction of Empire City causes, it wouldn't be a good idea for the government to destroy the city anyway. Now Cole's phone has a port for flight recorders.
Real tough guy, aren't you?
On the contrary, I'm weak, quite weak in fact, which is why you need to learn this lesson and learn it well.
No one who hates you and sees you as an enemy is going to take anything you say as kind words of wisdom. Kessler probably would have been better off playing the mysterious hobo down the street that randomly appears and gives Cole oddly appropriate advice.
You think you can come over here doing what you please? Think again. We've got your fat friend.
Oh hey, it's Jason Cottle not pretending to be Batman. Almost makes me want to sigh out of relief.
Zeke! Can you hear me?
None of these people look even remotely like Zeke.
Zeke! Cole! Hey, Cole, over here!
Are you insane? You're lucky they didn't kill you.
What are you saying? That old Zeke needs to go back to his roof and just chill? That he's only good for a laugh and a beer, but when it's go time, he ain't worth a damn? That what you're saying, Cole?
If you're trying to make me feel guilty, you're not.
But just because you got powers doesn't make you better than everyone else.
Maybe not everyone, but definitely you.
I know you mean well, Zeke, but the world is changing. You make a mistake now, and you're as good as dead.
Cole gives Zeke the same lecture Kessler just gave him.
I had Roger rig up the roof of the bus with metal mesh, and a generator will keep it electrified. Should provide a non-stop source of energy for you.
Wow, that's really smart.
Oh, they don't let dumbasses into med school, Cole.
Trish takes credit for the idea, but really Roger did all the work. Being a nurse does not make her a top-notch electrician. I know a lot of you are expecting me to send this mission for being difficult, but guess what? This clip was taken from my own walkthrough where I did the mission on hard mode without dying. But since I know none of you are going to let me get away with it, I'll sin every time Trish chastises me for not protecting the bus.
We're taking damage! Damn it, protect the bus! We can't survive another hit like that! One more hit and we're dead!
Also, Trish tries to make it sound like the bus is going to blow up on the next rocket, but I can still take another 10 rockets.
Cole, I have the results from the photo analysis. It's Alden Tate, the son of Richard Tate. You paying attention?
If I was still in control, I wouldn't have let that hit me.
Alden disappeared into the streets, growing up scared and homeless.
There were no orphanages that would take him? This is Sucker Punch after all. He could have started a life stealing from the unjust and been best friends with a turtle and a hippo.
Trish still inside that thing. I had to act fast. Not that I could do anything to Alden. He was already gone.
Alden walks with a cane. He shouldn't have gotten away that fast. I just accidentally zapped Trish trying to save her from the Dustmen, but then she acts like I did nothing wrong. For once, I want you to give me a game over.
I know you didn't mean to kill Amy, Cole. That you've been trying to make things right. And I need to stop being angry at you. It's just been hard for me.
Suddenly, I'm able to respect Trish because she actually admits that she was mad at Cole for petty reasons. Try to find a girl who'll do that in a sour relationship. One sin off.
I can't believe you, Cole. Running back into her arms.
I don't have any tar on me. Go away.
Why the hell is he building that thing?
No idea. As far as I can tell, there are no combustibles in it, so it's not an explosive device. Maybe he's overcompensating for something.
Not quite a dick joke, but still a dick joke. So do all the Dustmen conduits have the same power as Alden? That's either really lucky or there's a continuity error in this series. Armored death buses have an exposed electrical source on the roof, like they were practically asking for Cole to stop them.
Hey, Cole. Just letting you know that I'm over at the prison, helping out the cops.
You kidding me? I thought you hated cops.
Oh good, now Zeke has adult supervision. What can he possibly do to mess this up?
The boys in blue need to move some lops to a more secure area of the prison. Gotta hold off the trash baggers while they make the move.
What the hell is a lop?
A prisoner, man. You know, a shank holder. Come on, give it the lingo.
So the cops just let a civilian help them with keeping a top priority prisoner secure. I seriously doubt it.
Oh, hell. Zeke, get out of here. Run!
No way! My guns are unloaded!
These guys will kill you. Go help the cops lock down Alden.
How would the situation have been any different if Zeke had been present? I'll tell you how. Zeke would have been dead, and the rest of the game would have gone a lot different.
By the time I got inside, it was too late. The place was slick with gore. Poor bastards never got any backup. If Zeke kept his post, they'd be alive now. And Alden would still be in a cage.
And if Zeke hadn't come in the first place, this would have happened anyway. This whole mission was a lost cause from the beginning.
Now the ray sphere seems farther away than ever. Alden knows we're coming. He'll prepare.
Why did Cole link Alden and the Ray Sphere together? We don't find out until later that he even has it to begin with.
Look, don't lay this on me. I did everything I could. Zeke is the one who blew it. I told him to stay back and help the cops, but he wouldn't listen.
It's time to cut him loose, Cole. He's become a liability, and we have no margin for error, especially with Alden back on the streets.
This is the one and only time I will agree with Moya. We're on the 8th sewer mission, and this is not what I want to be doing to blow off steam.
John White, we are here to extract you. Please maintain your current position.
You brought a chopper? I told you to come along.
They're not with me. I don't know who they are.
Or it could actually be the NSA. Kessler couldn't have heard John say where to meet up because he was scrambling the signal. Just a thought.
I know you're not with the agency. Too undisciplined, too cocky. But I also know that you want the same thing I do. The Ray Sphere. And you're gonna help me get it.
So you know where it's at?
One of my UAVs spotted it on top of Alden's tower.
John suddenly enters the story and he has all the answers to our questions. Damn, he's a Deus Ex Machina before he actually becomes a Deus Ex Machina.
Zeke, you there?
Hey,
Listen, I really need your help with something.
Cole knows damn well how much Zeke has been messing things up, and he still thinks this is going to go well. I'm learning 2 things, and they are that Cole isn't as smart as I thought he was, and that he needs more friends.
I was a little worried you weren't gonna show.
You're gonna wish he hadn't.
When my tower is complete, I will be reborn. This tired old body will be gone, replaced by cold steel and concrete. And then I will fulfill my destiny. By God, I'll take what's mine!
What the hell is Alden going to do with the Ray Sphere anyway? Was he just gonna keep it as a trophy? Was he just trying to spite Kessler? He didn't need it to finish his tower or make his new body.
Zeke yanked the Ray Sphere out of its cradle and was caught between Alden and Kessler. It was definitely time to escape, but he just stood there.
I'd love to know what their escape plan was. Jump off the side and hope Cole doesn't drop Zeke? Or were they gonna go the slow way and take the 4 elevators back down?
Nothing. Everyone's fine. No change at all.
Even if it did work, Zeke would have been knocked out for a week and the 3 of them would have played hot potato with the Ray Sphere until someone ran off with it.
Zeke's my best friend, like a brother to me. He's about the only person I do trust. Or did, anyway.
I'm pretty sure the moral of the story is don't treat your friends like shit, but I'm still not learning the lesson from this example.
What if one of them activates it and kills another 10,000 people in the process? And who the hell knows what that Moya person wants with it? No, this is the only way.
Oh, thank God someone has sense. Convenient dust cloud meant to conceal the boss clears away when you reach the boss. So Alden made this Frankenstein shell out of scrap metal, but it can roar? All I can imagine is him putting a car horn inside it, and every time he wants it to make noise, it honks.
Holy shit.
Okay, this is where the graphics and animation just eject me from the immersion. This game was made in 2009, and Sucker Punch still has jerky Sly Cooper animation. Do you know what else came out in 2009?
Oh god. Guy must have felt my hesitation, because in that moment of indecision, I jumped. No normal man could have survived that fall, but Alden's a conduit. Same rules don't apply.
There's the word conduit again. The first time I played this, I had no idea what anyone was talking about. Then again, it could have been my own ignorance. Still, it doesn't change the fact that no one ever explicitly says conduits are people with superpowers and just acts like it's common knowledge.
Head over to the 19th Street drawbridge and open it. That way you have an out in case things go haywire. 20 seconds.
Where are you gonna be?
I'll be there when you need me. 5 seconds.
That wasn't 15 seconds!
From one roof hangs Trish, the love of your life. From the other, 6 doctors.
Even if you look up trying to decide what to do, the buildings are both identical. Do your job, mini-map!
Trish!
Who the hell's Trish? Get me out of this!
How dare you play with my feelings, game! So whichever side you pick, Kessler knows which one you're not going to pick. So even if you decide to save Trish as a hero, Kessler knows you're not going to go for the doctors and hides her among them. I call paradoxical bullshit.
no matter how painful.
Cole.
Trish!
Trish. Yeah, I know I'm going to hell for this.
All my powers, and I couldn't do a thing.
I've saved hundreds of people on the streets, but I can't use my powers to heal her broken bones and possibly ruptured organs. Fuck you, game.
Where the hell were you? If you'd only helped out, Trish might still be alive.
If Cole had any likable characteristics, it all went down the drain. Now he's gonna have one emotion the rest of the game. Pissed off. Finally, the 9th and last sewer mission. This one's short, but that doesn't mean I'm going to abstain from sending it. Behold, the only power you're going to be using for the rest of the game. They just had to throw the 6-axis gimmick into this game. Was it really so boring to just let me use the right stick to control it?
Cole, we need to talk. I know what John's been telling you.
I got nothing to say to you, Moya. You've lied to me from the very beginning.
I've been waiting the whole game for Cole to finally tell her off.
She works for a different agency and knew I was undercover. That means the NSA has been compromised, that someone is outing agents. Our entire national security apparatus could be exposed.
It's just one more thing we won't figure out unless we read the comics.
In order to stop them, you're going to have to destroy the UAV circling it, then figure out a way to disable the balloon shield.
Force fields? I hope there's a conduit making that thing, otherwise...
Then we go after Kessler.
First things first, Cole.
The funny thing is that the sympathy for Cole hating Kessler only lasts for one playthrough. Any subsequent playthroughs just makes this annoying.
Listen, man, I didn't know what was gonna happen with Trish. I swear it. You there? Come on, Cole, say something.
Can't Cole just hang up instead of ignoring him? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that chopper should be dragging on the ground. If a few extra grams of weight on the rotors can throw one of these things off course, then I think all that equipment would make it impossible to fly. Well, this feels oddly familiar. Flying around town with John, he's giving me an unlimited supply of electricity. Oh my god. Good lord, they're cloaked too. I don't know what kind of technology Kessler needed to make all this sci-fi stuff prematurely, but I'm sending it.
So, what's your plan for getting out of the city?
Hell if I know.
Well, you better come up with something. If you think they're gonna let someone as powerful as you just run around, you better think again.
I appreciate the concern, but I'm not really worried about it.
You should be worried. Very worried. You think they're not gonna try and recreate the ray sphere? I gave them copies of every schematic I could get my hands on.
John gives us a glimpse of a sequel I'd be interested in seeing, but it never comes up again.
But even if that fails, they still have you. Their own personal WMD. My guess is that they'll capture you and lock you up, only letting you out when they need somebody wiped off the map.
Well, at least I'm good for something.
Cole says this, but in the comics following this game, he doesn't agree to it willingly.
Cole, come on, man, I know you're there. Please pick up.
I've got nothing to say to you, Zeke. As far as I'm concerned, you killed Trish. If you hadn't taken off with Kessler, she'd still be alive and we'd be out of this damn city.
Completely untrue.
I don't want you to say anything. I want you to disappear. Because if I find you, things are gonna get ugly.
Cole doesn't follow through with this threat. Also, Cole is being very hypocritical right now. When he didn't detonate the ray sphere, everyone in the city hated him, including Trish. But when Zeke doesn't detonate it, he hates him for it. What kind of backwards parallelism is this? He slept by her grave. God damn it.
They've got a boat inbound, probably trying to take advantage of the fact that water will kill you.
I'm not even gonna ask how John knows Cole's weakness. In this game, if you work for the government, you're practically omnipotent.
And I hit that sphere with everything I've got. But something goes wrong. The ray sphere cracks open, creating a vortex of energy. John's pulled in, and it tears him apart.
John's pulled into the vortex even though Cole was standing the closest. If it weren't for this oversight, we would have a much different sequel, one that I would probably prefer over the one we got.
John and the ray sphere are gone, reduced to ashes.
Way to go, hero. You fucked up the timeline.
Then John rips it away, telling me I'm crazy, screaming, but it's too late. The ray sphere breaks open, creating a vortex.
Why does the ray sphere break apart when John takes it? Shouldn't it keep working since he is a conduit? The only reason why this happens is because we need a sequel.
John and the ray sphere are gone. Reduced to ashes. But I got what I wanted.
Cole activates the ray sphere, but doesn't have any time to absorb the neuroelectricity from anyone. He just got a power boost from nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm not like you. It took me a while, but I finally realized that this isn't about me, about what I want. Not anymore. It's about keeping this city safe.
I must have missed the character development where Cole became selfless.
I remember your voice now. You were there after the bomb went off.
Cole realizes this, but still didn't hear half of what Kessler actually said when the ray sphere went off. Every time I play this boss fight, I'm just reminded of all the stuff I can't do in Infamous 2.
Your mother is ashamed of you. She lies, tells people you're a teacher. No one respects a bike messenger.
In hindsight, that's a pretty poor lie. What grade level does she tell people he teaches? Intermediate or college? What subject? At what school? He dropped out of college and still got a degree to teach? Sooner or later, someone's kid will attend that school and they'll figure it out. More QuickTime events.
This doesn't concern you, fat man.
Yeah, no, Zeke's dead. Or at least paralyzed from the waist down. I can't tell if he teleported these things, materialized them into thin air, or time traveled them here.
Your old man carried a picture of Trish in his wallet, telling people she was the daughter he never had. Did you know that?
So Kessler reveals all this information about how disappointed his parents were, but he fails to mention his younger brother. From the sound of things in the sequel, he wasn't too happy with Cole either. If you haven't figured it out yet, being bald automatically makes you a bad guy in this game.
In those early days, Kessler could have used his powers to stop it. But instead, he fled with his family, leaving others to fend for themselves.
You'd think Trish wouldn't let Kessler live down running away from the beast for years. I'm even more surprised that he, his 2 daughters, plus Trish lived that long.
In that moment of failure and grief, he used his newest and most dangerous power. He went on a one-way trip back in time.
He pretty much got the power to time travel because he lost his family. How fucking convenient.
Yet the thing that drove him forward, Kessler's sole link to the past, was a picture from his wedding day, when he married Trish, with Zeke as his best man.
Nobody was ready for this reveal, and I shouldn't have to explain it. Jesus McGrath. Whoa, tone down the foreshadowing just a little bit. What are you trying to do, spoil the sequel 2 years early? So I'm just going to clear something up real quick. Nothing Kessler did was going to change anything with his own timeline. The Infamous series exists as alternate timelines, which is why reality didn't explode anytime Kessler and Cole came in contact with each other. He did all this just to save one timeline out of an infinite number of timelines and ruin this one in doing so. Everything that happens in this game and every game after it didn't have to happen, and that's why this twist is such bullshit.
Moya's still running around, planning God knows what.
You're gonna have to read the comics to find out.
Kessler thought he was preparing me to face some beast, but I'd be using my powers for the greater good. What an idiot.
Even though Cole says he doesn't care about the beast coming, the first cutscene of the sequel proves otherwise, even if you start out with evil karma. I know this isn't canon, but still.
A plague struck, followed by rioting.